Well, we've just tasted the biryanis at Nagarjuna. The biryanis were tasty, satisfying. Next, we are on our way to taste the biryanis at Meghna. So it's 2 o'clock here, and Meghna Biryani and Meghna Foods, actually the name of the eatery, so popular that every table here is taken, and the only table that we have is the table by the door. That's where we are sitting here. My goodness, so there's an incredible list of biryanis here. There are at least about 11 or 12 of them that I can count. So they do a chicken biryani, a boneless version. We're going to taste that. Then give me one chicken biryani and also give me one mutton biryani. Nice to have this plate full of salad. A nice touch, a healthy touch, especially since I've ordered 3 biryanis. And then we have the veg gravy, which I found a little intriguing considering the fact that we've ordered a chicken biryani and a mutton biryani, but nonetheless. And then we have this raita, nicely garnished with some coriander and also some jeera seeds that I can see. So I've got my 3 biryanis here. This is the mutton dum biryani. There's some mutton pieces hiding under this rice. And then of course you have the chicken biryani. You can see the leg of the chicken that's peeping out of this bowl of biryani. And then this is the hugely popular Meghna's boneless chicken biryani. This is, I'm told, the hot seller. This outsells all other biryanis 4:1 out here at Meghna's. Let's taste these biryanis now. Thank you. So this is the Meghna's boneless chicken biryani. As you can see, there's boneless chicken which is tossed in some masala, which is their signature masala, I am told. And you have the rice. And I think what makes this biryani hugely popular, in addition to the taste of the biryani, which I have to taste, I'm told is the fact that people can share this biryani. So you've got all these tiny boneless pieces, so it makes for a biryani that's easy to share. So this is again a long grained rice, basmati. So all that you see for the most part is the rice, and you see flecks of coriander at the most. What I like is that each grain of the rice is separate. It's not clumped together. Let's taste the rice. That rice and that masala certainly delivers a kick, a spicy kick. So this chicken is coated in a masala, in a light batter. So I'm sure there's some egg that's probably gone into this, and the spices of course. The meat is soft and the spices are gentle. In this biryani, all that I can see is the rice. Of course, the rice that's tainted by the color of the masala, the spices. I can taste the masala. The masala is more in the boneless chicken pieces. But you can't really see any of the other hard spices that would have gone into it. All that you see is a curry leaf and flecks of coriander here and there. Let's now taste the biryani, the rice and the chicken together. The chicken is soft and packs a flavorful punch. Having tasted this, I can certainly understand why this is as popular a biryani here. You can see this gravy is dense and rich. Taste a wee bit. I want to taste the gravy just by itself first. It's quite mellow actually, as opposed to the spicy kick of the biryani. The gravy is quite mellow. So I think what the gravy does here is that it provides a gentle relief in between tasting spicy mouthfuls of the Meghna biryani. As you can see, the chicken is coated in this spicy batter, lending more volume to the meat. Because the way this biryani is served with all those boneless chunks of meat on top. It's difficult to get just at the rice, but that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to enjoy the rice with those tender morsels of chicken that's coated in that spice encased batter. Now that I've polished off the boneless biryani, time to taste the chicken dum biryani. Thank you. So I've got the chicken biryani now on my plate. So there's this leg of chicken which looks nice and juicy, and then you've got all this rice. And what makes the rice special, flavorful, is the masala that you see smeared in between flecks of the rice. That masala is what contains all the spices that go into making this a flavorful biryani. So when you're tasting the biryani here at Meghna Biryani, if you want less spice, just taste the rice by itself, and that carries within itself a generous dose of the flavor. But if you want to spike up the flavor, find yourself some of these masala, mix that into your rice and go for it. There's also a tart edge, a slightly tart edge to the masala. You also taste the onions, the burnt onions, the brista that's also in that masala. I can taste the caramelized edge of the onion that have been fried down to its essence to give you that savory flavor. And this chicken is nice and warm to the touch, and it's cooked perfectly all the way through. As you can see, it's cooked to the bone, just perfect. This meat certainly has a flavor all the way down to the bone. You know, typically otherwise when you're eating chicken in a biryani, while the rice may have the flavor, the chicken sometimes doesn't tend to pick up the flavor. So all that you taste is the meat, and chicken by itself doesn't have as much flavor. But this piece of chicken here has trapped all the flavors of the spices, of everything that goes into this biryani, making this a tasty, meaty bite. I must say that the biryani here is rich in its spice. It leaves you feeling a little more than satisfied. But I still need to taste the mutton dum biryani here. This is the mutton dum biryani here at Meghna. Again, the rice, you just see the rice and little else. You don't see any spice floating around. You don't see any cloves, cinnamon, whatsoever. All that has gone into the masala, and the essence of that masala is what's gone into that rice. So the approach to cooking the rice is quite different here, if I may say so, almost refined in the way they cook their rice. So you don't have bits of the spice that you bite into. I personally like that, but some of you may not really relish the thought of biting into a clove. At Meghna's, you don't have to worry about that, because all that you have is the rice which has trapped all the flavor of the spices of the masala. As I taste the rice for the mutton biryani, I can certainly sense that the masala here is mellower than the masala that I tasted in the rice of the chicken biryani. Taste some of that meat now. So I've got a lovely piece of meat here which has also caught some of that masala. That peels off effortlessly. That meat once again traps all the flavors of that biryani. The meat has a bit of a bite. It's not the softest meat, but then sometimes you want your piece of meat to have that bite. You want to be able to bite into it, and that's what you do with this mutton biryani here. Thanks to the subtle spicing of this biryani as opposed to the chicken biryani, you can taste the flavor of the meat. Time to taste the meat with the rice. So if you want a more savory, masaledar mouthful, there certainly is plenty of the masala wrapped around the meat in that bowl of rice to look for. You can certainly taste the robust spicing when you reach for that masala. So it's all the spices and led by the onions, the fried onions. You don't see it on the plate, you don't see it in the bowl, but you can certainly taste it. So the biryanis here at Meghna Foods certainly leave you feeling satisfied and a little sated, because that's how rich these biryanis are. So what you certainly need to wrap up your biryani meal here is some of this raita, just to help settle things down in your belly. That cool, soothing relief that comes from the raita. I've just finished tasting 5 biryanis at Nagarjuna and Meghna Foods, and I'm feeling stuffed, to say the least. So what did I think of the biryanis? Well, I thought the biryanis at Nagarjuna and Meghna's were unique in their own way. So for instance, the biryani in Nagarjuna, you could see the spices in the rice, and that rice was flavorful. So whether it was chicken biryani or the mutton biryani, the rice had all that flavor. So although you could see all the spices, the spicing was delicate. It's a sort of spicing that crept up on you. Whereas the Meghna Foods biryanis, you couldn't see any of the spices, but you could taste the robust hit of the masala in the rice, and you could see flecks of the masala in between the rice. It was also the sort of spicing that got you right then and there. So it was also the sort of spicing that was more aggressive than the spicing of the biryani at Nagarjuna's. I've also felt that the biryanis at Meghna Foods left me feeling more fuller. In fact, left me feeling a little heavier. Perhaps it's the number of biryanis that I had tasted at that point. If you're looking for a biryani that's big on flavor, biryani that's robust in its spicing, and if you really like that masaledar kick, I think then the Meghna biryani is for you. I think the Meghna biryani also lends itself, especially the boneless chicken biryani with those morsels of chicken. I think it lends itself better to sharing. So it's a sort of biryani that you could easily share amongst 2 or 3 people. So the kind of biryani would really depend on the type of biryani that you like. So if you're looking for something that is aromatic, that is more delicately spiced, then I think the Nagarjuna biryani fits the bill. But if you're looking for a biryani that's robust, that's masaledar and fills you up, then definitely go for the Meghna Foods biryani. So that's it for this episode of Gourmet on the Road. Until the next one, stay safe and happy eating. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, share and leave a comment. If you'd like to support Food Lovers TV, do log on to foodlovers.in and hit the Support Food Lovers banner. Links in the description below. Happy eating!